Hey guys! Today we're going to be building a fairy cottage as requested by these two comments right here. So let's get started with the build. So as you can see, I already have like my aesthetic and color palette kind of picked out. So I'm just laying the basic floor plan, and right now I know it looks pretty square and like no shape, but this house does end up having a lot of character, so I wasn't too worried about it, and I actually added some more shape to it using like some slanted roofs as well. So the gable roof you see here is not the only roof. It has a couple of slanted roofs as well, and this house actually has a lot of features inside of it, which I find gives it a lot of characteristics. So since cottages aren't my usual content and not my usual style, I decided that this would be a good situation to kind of test my building skills out and just experiment with some variety. So I decided to make a raised porch area and have pillars that I normally wouldn't use and like a fence around it. And I also ended up making these custom windows, which I thought fit the theme really well. So I developed the floor plan, and I decided to make a kind of outside greenhouse area, but instead of having plants inside of it, I wanted it to be the designated formal dining area. So it would be like a little fancy area to eat outside, which I thought made sense because cottages give me like a nature vibe. I figured, hey, they probably could eat outside and it would be some type of aestheticness to it. So it's like, okay, this makes sense here. But there is like a couple of stools to sit inside and eat at as well. I just wanted to make this more formal area. And so sticking to the plant theme, I also made like a little garden because I thought maybe the person that lives here is like a really like environmentalist or naturalist person that just like grows their own food and things. So yeah, that's what the back of this house entails. But there's also a pond and like a bridge and things you'll see later on. So I really wanted to incorporate the bond with nature in this build. So there's a lot of plants incorporated. As you can see as I'm doing the like gardening as well, this is definitely the most loaded front yard I've ever done. But honestly, I don't hate it. I really think that like even though it's what do you consider that, like crowded, or I don't know, it's just highly detailed with a lot of items, but I feel like it's realistic, especially for the fairy aesthetic I was going for. I feel like a fairy would collect a lot of things and like, I don't know, just it gives them more of a comfort. So I was like, I think this makes sense. And then I decided to place these bushes on top of the roof, which I thought was an excellent idea. Now I could have used decals for this, but at the same time I wanted to really just stick to using the Bloxburg items because I don't know, you can make Bloxburg plants look good. You don't always have to use decals. I'm kind of both. Sometimes I use decals and sometimes I use regular. Either way, I think that this house looks overgrown how I wanted to, and that like somebody lived here for a long time. And I had decided to actually do all the decorating off camera because let me tell you guys, this was a trust the process, but it did come out good as I'm showing you here. I just did most of it off camera, so I'm just showing you all the things that are in the front yard, and it's really overloaded but comes together well. Okay, so I knew that I wanted some woods in the background of this house. I wanted this house to be centered like in a forest or the woods, so I knew I wanted to also include a body of water. I don't know why, but I just felt like a pond fit a fairy cottage for some reason, so I decided to make a little cottage, and it was the perfect size for the bridge. And I know you can resize the bridges, but I didn't feel like doing that, so luckily it was the right size. And then I just added a whole bunch of trees, and I don't know why trees in Bloxburg are so expensive. Like, I don't know, I had worked so hard to like get all this money in Bloxburg, and I know you guys can't see that on the top screen, but it like drained all my money. So yeah, but it was worth it because it really did look like it was surrounded by a bunch of trees and woods and all that, and I had made it darker looking by using the fence around it, so it really did end up looking like that once I really recolored all the trees and stuff and made it a little bit more realistic looking. So I was happy with the result, and I also added some more trees in the front so that when I took the thumbnail it looked more like it was in that type of setting that I wanted. Now, it did feel a little counterproductive to have like the plants outside of the greenhouse, but I knew that I needed to stick to my original idea because it made sense in my head. Because I would rather sit in a space that's enclosed for dinner than be outside for dinner, because we're thinking realistically bugs, but maybe I just have PTSD because I live in Florida all the time. But yeah, I don't think that I would want to eat dinner outside if there's bugs. You know, maybe in the winter, but not right now. And so I decided to make the little crops that we have outside with a little like workshop bench or whatever, and I think it was cute. So my reference for the living room here was to have like a light green couch, kind of like a mint color, but also a bit of sage. You'll see the color that I come up with to better understand what I was going for. And I wanted to do something different for a couch because usually my couches are like white, and I wanted to also use like a different couch set. So I made sure I did something different for once with my couch, and it actually came out pretty cute. I added some like pink accent pillows, which I think really went well with the they're kind of complementary colors. So yeah, I didn't think about that as I was building this, but like green and red are complementary colors, so it makes sense that mint and pink would be complementary as well. So yeah, anyways, I just added this bookshelf, and I had to like resize it to be very thin, but it came out pretty good. I like the color that I found to color it because it was like a darker beige color. So yeah, I went good with the color scheme, and I did decide that I did want to include a fireplace, but I didn't want one that was too big, so I just used the smallest one we have because I didn't want it to cover up the windows too much. But I also made like this little archway up to the kitchen, and you'll see the kitchen later on because I really like how it was like raised up with the stairs. I like how there's different levels in this house, you'll see soon. And yeah, so I really like how there's windows, the curtains, everything you'll see later on. I just really like. I love how it's divided, and like the curtains you'll see divide the kitchen from the living room, so if you want to like shut off the kitchen from the living room, it looks so cool. Like that's so cottage, like it's really comfy. I really like how warm it looks in here. The best way to describe the living room would be like a sunken living room, but I think that's so cool, like to have a room that has a lower level and then you have like a mini stair step up to another room that a little higher up. I don't know, I find that pretty cool. And I added a bunch of vines and ivy and all that type of stuff everywhere in this house, so this whole house is like plants. All right guys, I gotta go get some coffee. I'm filming this in the morning and I'm like groggy right now, so I think it's best if I go get some coffee. I'll be right back, and yeah, and then I can explain this kitchen. Okay, so I'm back with my coffee, and I also got a granola bar. So basically what I did is I used a basic shape to make the flooring for this kitchen, and then I also used some basic shapes just to make like a built-in stair step up to the kitchen. So the roof is lower technically when you go up to the kitchen, but for my character size the wall is still tall because my character is really small. So anyways, I just added some shelving, and these honestly didn't fit perfectly, but I made them work, and I decided to just add a little laundry area. Maybe a fairy would, I don't know, would a fairy even have laundry to worry about? We're not gonna talk about that, but I don't know. Okay, it's Bloxburg. So yeah, so here I have the laundry, the fridge, just some appliances. I didn't add any cabinets because I feel like a fairy house would just have a bunch of like appliances on like some shelving and stuff. I don't know why I thought that in my head, but I think that's pretty accurate. I find it really weird that I needed coffee today because I barely drink coffee. If you know me in real life, I barely drink juice. I literally strictly only drink water. Like, I'm one of those people that you ask what's their favorite drink and nobody ever says water, but I'm one of those people that say water. It's an addiction. So yeah, I also got like the Quaker granola bars, which aren't the best option, but that's what I got right now, so that's what I'm eating. Also, guys, daily positivity. Just make sure that you eat a meal today as well. Always make sure that you eat something. Alright, so moving on back to the build. So I have one more thing I want to mention that I decided to add in the kitchen. So I have the formal dining area outside, but I also wanted some seating inside because who wants to go outside every day to eat? Like, sometimes you get the meal and you're just like, I gotta eat right here, right now. I know I'm one of those people sometimes, especially when the meal is good. So I decided to make a custom, well, not really custom. I just used two like console tables and made I didn't want it to make it like it was a modern day island. So I decided to make something that looked more rustic. So I figured like this was more fairy-like to make it out of wood and everything. So I just made like a little, I guess, prepping table where you could just have a bunch of fruits and like get cutting up fruits and all that type of stuff. So I added like a picnic thing. I also added like a basket of apples and like a jamming station and then like a bunch of like jams you'll see in the tour. Especially I had to do a lot of it off camera. Okay guys, so I'm gonna start yapping now if I wasn't yapping already, which I think I was, so hopefully I'm not yapping y'all heads off right now. But anyway, so I had slept on the couch for funsies, I guess. Well, really, it's because like I play video games a lot, so when I'm gaming, sometimes I want to game in my room and sometimes I want to game in the living room. So this time I decided I wanted to game in the living room. And you know, I've been working on my sleep schedule, but honestly, I'm not the best at fixing my sleep schedule. So guess who's been going to bed at like 3, 4 a.m. every night? And so I guess it's karma because I fell asleep one night and I think it was a day or two ago, I woke up and I had the worst neck pain in my life. Like, I couldn't turn my neck to the left for the life of me. Like, every time I turned my neck a little bit, I literally was in pain. So my whole neck about 1 to 2 days ago was like stuck for me. Like, either I had to keep it straight or I had to keep it like turned to the right, and it was like, okay, so anyways, so it was really awkward because I had to go out and it just didn't look good. Like, I looked abnormal, and you know, it's doing better now, but I still can't turn my neck all the way to the side. But I've been doing stretches and all that, and yoga and all that, you know. So yeah, I've been doing warm compresses, cold compresses, stretches, cracking my neck, which might not be the best thing, but you know, yeah. Also guys, what are you guys thinking about like the Bloxburg update coming on the 28th, which I'm really excited about? But it's the way they announced it that really caught me off guard. Like, I don't know why. I was on TikTok and all of a sudden I just see like Bloxburg just get like blown up, and I was like, I did not know that we was gonna have to get exploded in order to get a new map. It really threw me for a loop. I was laughing even though that scenario is not funny in any way whatsoever, but like the way they made it so dramatic, I just did not know how to react to it. But I am still really excited about the new map. I just wasn't expecting them to like say like, oh yeah, we're just gonna blow up the whole map and then just make a new one. Like, it's that easy. Like, it was just so funny though. I can't with this game. Anyways, we're wrapping up the ending of this cottage, so I'm just finishing up the bathroom area, which was pretty simple. And I just used like a barrel as the tub because I thought that was the most fitting for this theme. So that was kind of the feature in this bathroom. Everything else is pretty normal, what you would expect. And I know this is completely random, but does anybody else's cat just like bombard their room? Like, they just blow up your room? Like, I'm filming right now and he's just like going ham. Alright guys, so I'm going to try to make this as fast as possible because we have a lengthy tour today. So here's the garden. We've got our little pathway here with our little stool. And here's a closer look at the garden. So we have that side and we also have this side. Yeah, and as you can see, we're surrounded by like all these trees in the back, but we can walk through here. We have a little mushroom seed area and like some wagons and a swing in the tree. And then we walk underneath the bridge, which I like, and there's a bunch of bushes on either side. And then we can make our way up the stairs to look at the porch, and there's little baskets of flowers and stuff and all that, so a lot of plants. so we can make our way inside, and we're greeted with the living room. So you can tell that it's sunken in because we went down the stairs. And we have our bookshelf here with all our little plants, and we have a wall here with a bunch of like cool little paintings on it. And we have these, like, do you see these like ivies on the floor? I like those. And this is our living room. I love the colors in here and the little leaf fan I added. So yeah, this is really cute. And look at the little beanbag cushions. So up here we have our elevated type of kitchen area, which I really like. So we have our laundry, our fridge, our stove, and some appliances as well. And then over here we have the other side. We have our stools here with little cushions on them, and then we have another leaf fan. So we make our way over here, and we have like our sink, some appliances, some jars of like honey and fruits and all that. So if we make our way through this door, we go into the outside eating area, which is really cool. I added the chandelier, which I thought was pretty cute. So yeah, here's a better view of all the foods and stuff that I added. Okay, and so back through here you can see I have another seating area right here with the flowers and everything, and we have like some gardening tools and all that. So this is the back porch. So if I make my way through here, we have our little crop area. So we have like a beehive and like little workshop area right here. Sorry guys, my voice. Okay, so if we jump out here, we have like fireflies all over the place, which was another touch I added. We have our little bridge, and this kind of leads into the woods area, which I think is pretty cute. And yeah, it's like nestled in the woods, so I gotta jump. Okay, so I don't know why I went to the backyard first. We should have went in the rest of the house, but it's okay. We're getting it done here. Okay, so we're gonna make our way back through the kitchen and down to the living room to the bedroom. And there's only one bedroom in this house, so of course, let me close the door. So of course we have our little area over here with our mirror and dressers, and then we have our bed, which I really do love. It's like so mythical, I don't know. And then we have our little desk area with another like storage area with like more. I wanted to put a lot of furniture in here just to make it seem more cozy in it and everything, so yeah. And then in here we have our bathroom, which is really simple. I think the barrel tub is what really makes it seem like a fairy would live here. So yeah, there's that. And over here we have just some more paintings, and I decided to add a window instead of a mirror because it made more sense to me in this case. So yeah, that's the bathroom. And that's the house. So I'm going to show you the front of the house again. Make my way to these doors. And yeah, so make our way back through this bridge, which you can see right here. And we're going to walk through and we're going to look at everything overview. We have all these trees and everything. So yeah, that's it. Okay guys, so I really hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. I really like how it was so different from my original building style, and it was a really good challenge. It was really fun yapping with you guys today. I had a lot of things to talk about, I guess, more than usual. Also, thank you guys for getting me to 300 subscribers and always leaving wonderful comments on my videos. I guess the next time that I see you guys, we will have the official new update map out, so that's exciting. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and do all that YouTube stuff. And as always, I love you all. Stay rad. I'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.